What's up, guys? Open Ice Hits with Scotty2 Hockey, and now that the All-Star break is over, the heartbreak continues for the Montreal Canadiens fans, losing 4-2 to the Washington Capitals last night in another close game, another game where it came down to the last minute, the Habs pulling their goalie and ending up giving up an empty net goal and losing the game 4-2. A good effort, but not good enough. And it has me wondering, what is Marc Bergevin going to do coming into this trade deadline? We never know with this GM. So I decided to ask fans on Twitter, get their opinions. I said, should the Montreal Canadiens be buyers at the deadline, make an all-out push for the playoffs this year, or should they sell off some of their current players for picks and prospects and focus on the future? I'm doing a video on this, and some comments may get featured. And I did get a lot of comments from a lot of fans. I used 10 of them. And it's pretty much the same mindset for most fans. Not all, but for most. The Sin Bin on Twitter says, I think as fans, we all want to see them make a miracle push for the playoffs. But it's not realistic. The Canadiens currently have a 3% chance of making the playoffs. There is no reason to be buyers. Marc Bergevin, great name, has no reason to trade the pending UFAs on the team. He says like Tatar and Kovalchuk, of course. Hugh on Twitter says, one, realistically, Scotty, we aren't making the playoffs. Even if we could sneak in, we're not serious contenders this year. What I'd focus on is trying to get the second lottery pick. Myself, I'd like to see him get first. But that's just me. It's a deep draft. We have a lot of assets at our disposal. So Hugh's focused on the draft. And two, he says, an asset we could use this year is cap space. Take a bad contract to get a team to overpay. Like with Winnipeg, took the Steve Mason contract, then bought him out, sent AHL D-Man Bork, and got Armia and 2 draft picks. We got to get that second lotto pick. This draft is deep. So he wants 2 lottery picks this year is what he wants. He don't want the second overall. I thought he meant he wanted the second overall pick, but he wants 2 lottery picks, which makes complete sense. I would love to see the Habs get 2 lottery picks this year. Habs on Twitter says, I've said they should sell since November. They have the coaching, some nice pieces, but no elite talent. You need to draft in this year's top 3 to 5 for a couple of years to gain the talent. Sell almost everyone, Price, Weber included. Probably impossible to move those players. Well, if you retain some cap, I'm sure it's not impossible to move Price and Weber. I'm not saying I want to see that happen myself, but if you retain the cap, I'm sure you can move them. Habs Center says, I think they should do neither. No need to unload any key pieces unless the return is huge. Return on Petrie and Tatar will be very similar next year. A healthy team with Price playing like he is a playoff team. A couple adds next year. If that's the case, coaching change. Aaron Hiscock on Twitter, short and sweet, says, sell. Dan Lemire on Twitter says, sell, but be reasonable on who you are getting in return. Don't make a stupid move like other GMs have done, which wouldn't surprise me if Marc Bergevin does make a stupid move. I'm not having a lot of faith in this guy the way things are going. Devin Burt on Twitter says sellers, short and sweet. And Jeff on Twitter, says sell, and he had an awesome gift there, but I couldn't get it to work in my video. Baby, it's cold on waivers. One of my favorite Twitter's names says, they're almost running out of options. At this point, it's either sell or stay put. So it isn't looking like fans want to be buyers in any case. Stephen Greer on Twitter says, absolutely sell. Trade Tatar, Cousins, Wheel, Kulak. If any team wants him, keep Petrie unless some teams make an over-the-top offer. Keep Kovalchuk if he wants to stay. Re-sign him on a 1-year contract. He could help the young players next year when the season ends. Fire MB. GM hires, I can't see the bottom part of it, but he says GM hires presidents. But there it is, guys. Overall, what the fans want the Montreal Canadiens to do is sell. The last guy said he wants to see him sell a ton of pieces. A couple people want him to stay put, and a couple people want to see guys like Tatar and Petrie, pending UFAs, moved. Get what you can for them while the value is high, which makes sense. Myself, personally, I still want to see a playoff push, but at this point, I wouldn't want to see him go after anybody at the deadline and risk the future. But let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and of course, have a great day. Open Ice Hits with Scotty2 Hockey. Over and out.